Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Pastor Shay, aka Chaplain G, coming back at y'all with another word of encouragement for today. So, I want to bring y'all this word of encouragement because sometimes when we are on the same team with somebody, be it a coworker at work or same sports team or our spouse or our children, our family members, whatever have you, right? Sometimes when we're on the same team with each other, we don't always communicate effectively. And I think one of the things that breaks down the communication is that sometimes we're just not honest with each other. We don't love each other well enough, or maybe we're afraid of how the other person is going to react. But we don't come with loving truth. We don't just oppose them right on the spot. We hold it on the inside. We don't know how the other person is going to react, so we hold things back, and next thing you know, one thing leads to another thing. Small rocks turn to big rocks. Then everybody's irritated and you wonder why you're on the same team in the first place. And then the team dissolves and it's all a mess, right? What we want to do is we want to be able to come with like loving truth, not in a confrontational way, but in a way that's life-giving, that's team building, and that keeps each other held accountable. Because when you're on the same team, like you're headed toward one goal, right? Everybody who's on the same team is headed toward one goal, whether it be to glorify God in everything we do, if it's to win this fight, if it's to beat this team, if it's to just have a loving family that's on an upward trajectory, whatever have you. When we don't communicate effectively, there's monkey wrenches that get thrown into the wedges, right? And so throws it to the cog of the wheel. However that saying goes. Anyway, there's this story with the Apostle Paul and the Apostle Peter. And Peter, if you know much about the biblical story about Peter is this dude that he's one of those people that walks into the room mouth first. Like he's always got something going on, always saying something weird, doing something weird. And there was this one time that he's hanging out with some fellas. He's hanging out with his new crew. They're hanging out. They're doing their thing. But then his old crew comes into town, and he acts like he don't know the new crew anymore. The Apostle Paul sees this, and instead of like getting irritated with him, Paul understands the magnitude of what's happening because there's some theological dynamics that are going on. There's some racial dynamics that are going on with it. There's a lot of stuff that's going on, and Paul, understanding the magnitude of it, says, there's too much at stake to not lovingly confront him about what he's doing. Not to be confrontational, but we have to get back on the same page. Let me read you this. This comes from Galatians chapter 2. This is verse 11. Y'all check this out. It says, "But when Cephas," this is Peter, "when Cephas came to Antioch, I opposed him to his face because he stood condemned. For before certain men came from James, he was eating with the Gentiles. But when they came, he drew back and separated himself, fearing the circumcision party. And the rest of the Jews acted hypocritically along with him, so that even Barnabas was led astray by their hypocrisy. But when I saw that their conduct was not in step with the truth of the gospel, I said to Cephas before them all, 'If you, though a Jew, live like a Gentile and not like a Jew, how can you force the Gentiles to live like Jews?'" So what was going on here? Peter was hanging out with people because he was living out of town. He was rolling with the new crew, but Jews didn't get along with Gentiles. There was a socioeconomic, racial, some backstory that's going on there, right? Paul sees that he's hanging out with his new crew, and he's like, "Ain't no thing. Like that's the truth of the gospel. God came to save Jews and Gentiles. He's bringing them all into one family up under the banner of Christ, right?" He's like, "My man, we live in this truth, right?" But then his boys from back in the day come to town, and they come from James, which is Jesus's brother, right? His half brother. But they're like these top dogs. And he sees them coming in town, and then he act like he don't know his new crew no more. And Paul's like, "Yo, this is out of step with the gospel." And not only did he see that Peter's conduct was out of step with the gospel, but he saw how Peter was leading other people astray. As opposed to just letting a little rock turn into a big rock, He confronted him right on the spot. I think we can learn something from that. I think Paul understood that in order for this thing to go forward, we can't be acting like hypocrites. We can't raise these people to a higher status just because of who they associate with. They get the better seat. They get preferential treatment, right? Paul says we can't do that. And so he checks Peter and he says, "Yo, my man, how you gonna mess the gospel up? How are you gonna even though you're a Jew and you're living like a Gentile, how are you gonna change things up when your old crew comes back into town?" And so when we're on the same team, when we're marching forward together, there's going to be times when we have to put each other in check a little bit, because we can see from each other's vantage, like, oh, this is going to lead us astray. This is going to get us off our goal. This is going to lead to destruction. This is going to lead to a fight, and we're not going to do well. There's all kind of hiccups that can occur, that because we're alive in Christ, we can see them down the road, and sometimes we have to correct that. That's what it means to be in godly relationships with one another. My encouragement for you is, if you've got something that's going on between you and another person, y'all supposed to be on the same team, and something pops up, you'll say something. Say it in a loving way, in a way that's correcting, that's keeping the relationship intact. Don't go all nuclear on the person, I'm saying. But if you see something, say it to them. Pull them to the side. Paul did it in front of everybody because everybody was starting to follow this trend. But if you can correct it on the side and have some godly wisdom, that's okay too. It's okay to have these disagreements where we put each other back in check, because we're on the same team and we're supposed to be doing this fight together. There's nothing worse than being in a trench with somebody and they don't really have your back. So I hope that's a word of encouragement for y'all, man. Please check out the rest of the story. It's a really cool story. Book of Galatians is awesome. Yo, please make sure to like, share, subscribe, all that jazz. It's free to y'all, but it means a lot over here. It means we can keep pumping stuff out, keep pumping out content, and hopefully y'all sharing it with your friends and your family, and we can keep this thing popping. But I love y'all. Hope everything's going good. Yo, hit me up in the email so I can be praying for y'all. And yo, until next time, grace and peace.